Okay, everyone, sorry. It's always something. Hopefully you guys find me over here. Oh, yay, good. You did. Okay. Um, yeah, so it's always something. I think I got the chickens under control though. I don't know what's going on with them today. Oh, good. Yay. People are finding me. Okay. So we're playing musical lives again today, even though there's no music. So again, nothing planned today. I just wanted to get on here like for a few minutes. Or maybe more, longer than a few minutes, maybe like half hour or so, but um, and just let you guys know that I'm going to probably be doing a live on D Live to talk about the video that I just released, as well as some other things about the case that I can't speak about on here. If you guys have any questions on anything, I can answer them over on D Live better. And again, I know that it's a pain in the butt to sign up for a whole nother account and get to know a whole new platform and stuff. But hey, if I can do it and learn everything, then you guys don't have any excuses. Hey, Angela. Hey, Leona. Okay. So how's everybody doing? Good? Hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas. The Tidy Labs, or I think, or Streamlabs bot is turned off, so you guys won't be timed out this time. Jenny, may I agree? Hey, Mr. Share. How's it going? Oh, are you trying to do? Oh, I didn't realize you were trying to live stream on D Live, Jacob's Ladder. I could help you out with that. Fantabulous, Mr. Share says. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Um, oh, doing it from your phone? Yeah, that's gonna be kind of difficult. You have to install like Streamlabs Mobile, which is one of the streaming or softwares that you have to use to stream on DLive, or you have to use like StreamYard, but I don't pay for the premium StreamYard, and you can only stream from using one platform. You can't multi-stream or use a custom streaming service like DLive. So that's why I had to learn how to use Streamlabs and OBS. So, oh, cool. You're on a trip. That's nice. Are you having fun? You streamed on DLive from your phone? No, I mean, Purple, do you mean that you just went to DLive and watched it, or you actually like did a live stream? Yeah, but signing up is really easy, and I know that the platform is quite a bit different than YouTube, but I mean, it's actually really fun over there. Like, it's just you can, I don't know. The stickers are like just really silly. There's like really no purpose to them, but they're just fun. You can, um, people can actually make stickers. They're called, and some will be like animated, and some won't be. But so people upload different stickers all the time, and then you can like steal other people's stickers, and you can save up to like 18, I think, or something. But so you can just post them in the chat, whereas here on YouTube you can't post any, like you can only do emojis. But I mean, not that that's like a make or break, but it's just something different. It's a different platform, and it seems like it's more laid back there, for whatever the reason. Oh, okay, yeah, downloaded the D Live app. Yeah. Um, I Jacob Slatter was talking about actually like streaming from it though, like going live as like a channel creator is difficult from doing it from your phone. Yeah, Collins D Live is a good community. Collins is over there. That's where I met Collins. He's over on D Live. Um, there's a group of guys over there that they were all really really humble and nice to me and helped me out when I didn't know what was going on. So that was really nice. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this whole royal family Meghan Markle thing or something. I never um, that kind of stuff is like tabloid celebrity gossip kind of to me, but I don't know. I've been hearing Angela talk about it and stuff, and some other people, but that's really crazy. Seems like there's fraud everywhere and fakeness. I said the fake word. Ooh. I've never heard that one before. I've heard Trudeau, but I've never heard Justin Trudeau. Hey Renee, how are you? Well, I invited Cher to come on, but she's probably busy and stuff. But I wanted to try and see if again if I could even have a guest on with mobile on StreamYard because I've never tried it before. But um, hey Do Jane, Meghan Markle is related to the royal family. She's cousins. The bloodline must be upheld. Wait, so does that mean she married her cousin? I'm confused. Like keeping it in the family kind of thing? Yeah, they did make it seem like that, and that they were like, it was this big deal that they were accepting, the royal family was accepting this um, interracial marriage into the family, which that's when I kind of just like went, psh, whatever. Hey, Kissing Cousins, that's an Elvis movie. Renee, I don't know. I saw that. That's terrible. I have no idea. Oh, interesting, Dojane. Nice. I said your name twice and I like didn't even stutter. I'm getting it. Okay, so there's 29 people in the chat. Put a one if you have seen my most recent video and a two if you have not. Please. Yeah, Vermilion Red. That's another case that I'm pretty suspicious of. I don't know. I'm suspicious of like of all these high profile murder cases. Renee, she just, sorry, what was the question? One, if you have put a one in the room, if you've seen my latest video. Two, if you have not. And I was going to say, for those of you that haven't seen it, I could play it for you, but I can't. Well, maybe I can. Because I don't know how to. Hey, James. Hey, Callie. Okay, I'll play it, but well, I'll try to play it. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure how to. I guess I could join the chat twice. I could go onto my laptop. Um, like when I go to press, it doesn't even give me an option to screen share. I don't know. I don't think Shan knows what she's talking about. I'm gonna have a talk with that woman. Because it gives me layout options to where you can have, it says full screen, and then you can show your, however many, just the guests, just me, yada, yada, yada. But it's not giving me like any option to show like screen share or anything. So let me see if I go to my computer. I might have to join twice. Okay. Oh, I have a guest. Yay. Oh, it's me. I was like, yay. Just me. That was a blonde moment. It's okay. It happens, right? So now do I have to remove my other guest? Do I have to remove myself? Okay. Let's see. Chrome tab. Share audio. Okay. And my channel. Just give me one sec. Or a couple, because I don't know what's going on. Oh, Jacob Slatter, you're RH blood type? That's crazy. That's like super rare. Is that like some, um, I don't know, does that mean you're like in, I don't know what it means. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay. I'd like to know who these three people are as well. Oops, echo. Okay, so let me see. Oh no, no, not end. Okie dokie. I'm just trying to figure out why it just echoed right now. Oh, probably because I have to do this. Solo layout. Hmm. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I should have just stayed on my phone, but this is how we learn, right? Okay, let's try it. Okay, guys, so in previous videos, I have pointed out several examples of symbolism, clues, and breadcrumbs throughout the case, all, all of which have been left by the ones in control of the narrative. They will often leave these clues in orchestrated events and essentially tell us what they're planning to do next. These hints can be found in movies, television, or inside the actual event itself. For example, in the Watts case, there's an overwhelming amount of predictability. Okay, so that definitely did not work. Or I don't know what I was doing as far as switching from my phone to the computer in StreamYards. So never mind. Forget that. But again, this is how we learn, right? We can all learn together. Okay, let me get back to my video here so I can see the chat since it's delayed on StreamYard. It's always something. Okay. Yes, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please do not adjust your TV. Hey, me, Jamie. Shannon, I thought that I heard the little guest beep and I thought it was you, but it was only me. I was like, yay, I have a guest. Oh, just me. Hey, Sean. Okay, so I was going to play my newest video that I put out. Um, you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, that I've been releasing and, in videos and talking about it as well in live streams and also in on my community page, because I just, I'll put out a video and I'll post a video. Sounds funny when I say put out. I put out a video. Okay, I posted a video. Every time I post one, I'll find another one of their breadcrumbs, another clue, another like connection. There's just so many of them, and I think I know that's why they're all scattered all over the place. And again, I need to just sit down one day and just literally put them all in like just one place, because I think maybe if I do that, it'll be a uh, lot more shocking to a lot of you. Maybe again, scattering them all around wasn't the best idea. But again, like I find these connections just as the case progressed, and we're still here over 2 years later, and I'm still finding some, as well as other people, as well as my other subscribers. So you guys help out as well, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, so I just need to just compile them all together, because there's just so much. And again, I think that's why I have trouble when I come onto these live streams, or one reason, because I don't know where to start, because there's so much. There's just like so much. And I don't think a lot of you maybe realize that, but it's really crazy how much there is. I mean, there was so much. They went to a lot of trouble to uh, make this case what it is today. So I mean, just again, the planning and the organization, and I mean, it's amazing. It's insane. Like I don't know how they do it, but I think that's why this case has been so successful, um, because of the way that because of the way they did it. Oh, your daughter's name is Megan? Cool. Yeah, it's a pretty good name. I like to think so. I was gonna be called before, if it wasn't Megan, it was, I mean, called it was be called. It was to be named Morgan. And no offense to any Morgans out there, but I'm glad they chose Megan, because I don't know, I could just say like, hey, morgue. How's it going, morgue? Morgie? I don't know. But again, no offense to any Morgans out there, but and actually, like the correct way to say it, I probably shouldn't say this because then you guys are probably going to start calling me it this way. But in Ireland, it's actually um, Megan. The correct term or the correct way to say it is Megan instead of Megan. But we're not in Ireland, so it's okay. Megan's fine. Hey, Miss Mensa. This is not nearly as successful as I think they expected. This is not the case that people enjoy discussing in the true crime community. I'm not sure what you mean. And I say that only because people have been talking about it for over 2 years now. When the interest starts to die down, then they pull another stunt to bring it to. Yeah, you're exactly right, Miss Mensa. They do. If you'll notice that, it's happened several times in this case. And the most recent one was just started to die down right before Netflix came out. And then right when it started to die down, you had those quote unquote leaked prison phone calls that a certain channel released. Um, I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my head. I don't know. There's always something that comes out. Yeah, and you're right. You're exactly right, Miss Mensa. Definitely. Yeah, I wondered about that, Miss Mensa, because again, even though I've been covering this case for 2 years now, or almost 2 years, I didn't start right when it happened. I didn't start covering it. Well, I didn't know about it until December, and then I don't remember the first video I made on it, but um, it's well over a year and a half now at least. Um, so that being said, I'm still new to the true crime community. I didn't even know there's a true crime community. I didn't know it existed, really. I mean, I guess I knew, but um, so I've always wondered if this is normal behavior, like from or like just all like the um, competitiveness and the drama and the hate and the uh, pretty much like the how do I say this? All the crazies that have came out of this case. Does this is that all those things happen normally in true crime? I mean, it doesn't matter where you go, there's going to be drama. I mean, let's be real. But it seems like this case in particular has a lot more than usual. But it's not drama is not the true crime community at all. Okay, yeah. See, that's interesting because I wasn't sure. Um, but I've heard enough people say that they've never seen a case like this and that um, you know there's not all this drama and hatred, I guess. So it makes sense now. Yeah, I think so too, Vermilion Red. I wouldn't be Cher and I were talking about this one day, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled an Epstein on Chris too. Wouldn't that be convenient? I think there's a lot of people that are planted in this case too that are, I mean, there's your natural crazies, but then I think that there's a lot of people that are planted here to stir up drama and cause confusion and ridicule anybody getting close to the truth, that's essentially, I think, what the Ruseks are doing. They are stirring up drama. They're going into channels that are um, supporting them and I hate to say this, but shiners. This whole like which side are we and calling like dubbing ourselves like some specific name is just crazy to me. But I think that they are purposely going into channels that support them and um, playing victims and then going into um, other channels that don't support them and interrogating them and just stirring the pot pretty much. They they just want everybody fighting. They want everybody divided, and it could be possibly have to do with this whole Shenan's law thing. Because I think that is one of in my opinion, that is one of the motives for this case is to take away our portion of our free speech. Because again, they're not going to be able to do it all at once. But if let's say you start with one case, um, they might take away something there. For instance, you can't talk bad about someone who's deceased, or you can't uh, discredit anybody who can't speak for themselves, or you can't talk bad about victims. So maybe they start with that, and then just a little bit over time with each case, um, maybe it'll be something else that they'll come up with for another rule on YouTube that we can't um, discuss. And so little by little, they're going to slowly take our free speech away until we wake up one day and it's just going to be gone. We're not going to be able to talk about shit. And that's why it's so important for people to wake up and to like literally snap out of it, because I mean there's so much shit going on in the world right now that the last thing we should be doing is bickering and arguing over, I'm sorry, but for families we don't even know. I mean, for what? Like, just because it might seem like the person like knows Shanann or the girls because they watched all of her videos, it doesn't, you don't truly know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, they could be anybody. Like, so, I mean, for example, every time Shanann had almost all the time, blah, 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 take two. For the most part, when Shanann had the camera on, she was trying to sell a product. So, um, a lot of it could really have been her, but then a lot of it comes down to sales tactics, like um, turning on the camera, putting on a smile, saying how much it's helped her, how much it's bettered her life, um, how much energy she has, and but then once that camera turns off, they could be a completely different person. We just don't know. People act different once they know they're on camera or once they turn a camera on. And you really have to like ask yourselves, like, why is this? I hear it all the time. This case doesn't make sense. Why does nothing add up? Why is it so different from every other homicide case? Like, what's with the drama? What's with the craziness? What's with the um, just everything? That's all I ever hear is, why doesn't it make sense? Why doesn't it add up? Why is there so many holes? I'm telling you why, or I'm trying to tell you guys why. I mean, as far as the free speech, back to the free speech thing really quick. Once um, Frank Rusek stood in front of the Watts house and asked everybody to stop talking about the case, to me, that was like, I immediately thought that that was an attempt to take away free speech. Like, how are you going to, um, I mean, number one, this case is obviously it's a public case, it's high profile, and unfortunately, when that happens, um, your name is going to be all over the place. Your name's going to be all over the place. And not only that, but to go on to Dr. Phil and publicize their Shanann and the girls' quote unquote murders, um, and then, live stream on Facebook the funeral, um, go on ABC, Netflix. How in the hell are you going to do all that and then have the nerve to tell people that they're not allowed to talk about the case unless they go with the official narrative or they're in support of the families? That's very hypocritical. Like, you chose to go on Dr. Phil and publicize the deaths of your family. So how are you going to stand in front of the Watts house and say that we don't want you talking about the case? Well, too bad, because that's what happens. And as of now, we still do have free speech and we can talk about whatever the hell we want. And I'm always like, I'm always trying to be respectful and not get loud and start yelling and stuff. But I'm to the point where it's like, again, it's over 2 years now, and I'm not gonna like just keep holding back anymore and just sugarcoat everything, um, because again, it's not gonna get me anywhere, and it's not gonna get you guys anywhere. It's just gonna waste everybody's time. I mean, they can censor me as much as they want. That's fine, because again, I'm gonna back down because I don't want to lose my channel, but it's not going to stop me from talking about the case, and it's not going to stop me from talking about the case on a different platform where, as of now, we still do have free speech and we can talk about whatever we want. But you cannot go on all these, mainstream television shows and then have the gall to freaking tell the public that they're not allowed to talk about a public case. And then they have their lawyers come on and say, um, if enough's enough, stop talking about the case, let them mourn, and um, we might have to take we might have to take uh, action as far as like suing people goes, or so now you guys are going to try and sue people for talking about a highly publicized case, and so now they're like essentially threatening. And then the Rusex lawyers come out and say that they're working with the Honor Network. And if you do your research on the Honor Network, you will see that the 90% of the victims that this Honor Network advocates for are victims of high profile, tragic events that are, all of them are well known to have many holes and many inconsistencies in the official narrative. Nothing adds up. So why is that? Why is it that the Honor Network just so happens to advocate for these other events that have had questionable narratives, and they just happen to work with the Ruseks and the Watts case, which is another you know, public event, high profile event that has tons of holes in its narrative as well, and nothing adds up. And then the Ruseks are working with the Honor Network that actually admits that they have volunteers, 300 to 400 volunteers, that go around and or go around the internet and mass flag videos and channel creators that don't follow the official narrative for simply asking questions. It doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist for asking questions. I'm like so tired of this stupid conspiracy theorist like name or whatever that's going around. Like it's not even accurate in my opinion. Just because you ask questions, it doesn't make you a freaking conspiracy theorist. Like we have every right to ask questions if something doesn't add up. And even if it doesn't add up, we still have a right to ask questions to verify it, to make sure that what we're freaking being told is even truthful. So back to the Honor Network, they are working with a organization that has 300 to 400 volunteers that they admit that go around and mass flag, because they know that if you just go and click, you know, report a video here or a video there, it's not going to get them anywhere. So what they do is one of the little volunteers finds a video that they don't like that's questioning these events that have happened that don't add up. They go and mass flag that video or that channel and get them scrubbed from the internet. And there's one channel in particular that I know that I followed. He had to start his channel over because of that Honor Network, because he was questioning one of those tragic events that just so happens to be the person that started the Honor Network just happens to be connected to that tragic event in some way. And he didn't like this channel creator questioning that narrative. And not just him, many other channels. So think about it, you guys. Why do they want us to stop talking about this case unless it goes with the official narrative? So I don't think anybody's been able to answer that. Except for me, because they don't, you know, this case goes much, much further than just a cover up, you guys. It goes way past that. Like the police, the law enforcement, and the government, they're not going to release all this information to us just to make them look incompetent and stupid. And that they make themselves look like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They release the information so that I'm assuming knowing that they know how people in the true crime community, how they like to dig into the case, they like to ask questions and you know, try and figure out like why they did, you know, why this killer killed this person or whatever. Whatever the true crime community does. I mean, they know that by releasing the case files and all the body cam footage, we're all gonna, be focused on that. We're gonna bury our heads down into the rabbit holes. Now we're ostriches. I don't know why I said bury our heads, but we're going to, dive into these rabbit holes and try to solve a case based on only half of the evidence. And we don't even know if that evidence that they released is even factual. I mean, you're not going to be able to solve a case on only some of the evidence, let alone when it's not even, we don't even know if it's factual. I just repeated myself, but I couldn't say it another way because I had to watch what I said. um, they, again, they release it so that we're distracted, so that we're focused on all of this and this family and these victims, and we're all emotional, and we got our heartstrings pulled at, and we're not paying attention to everything that's going on that's around us that's actually important. I mean, it's one thing to um, be sad about a family that was allegedly murdered, um, but I mean, it's going on over 2 years now, and I mean, everybody has their different reasons maybe for still following this case, but um, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, you guys, and that's a lot more important, in my opinion, than fighting and arguing over this case and this family that we don't even know. And yet they keep releasing all this information and all this crap it's not factual information. You know how easy it is these days to fake something, to like, just because you see it on the body cam footage, it doesn't make it real. Just because you see an email, it doesn't make it real. I could type up an email right now, maybe not, but I could type up an email really quick, and I could do a live stream tomorrow and say that Jim Morrison emailed me. That doesn't make it real. Okay? Like, that's why I need you guys um, to see this, because it's so easy these days. Like, I mean, just with computer technology, and they know that a lot of the information that they release to us that we're not going to be able to vet ourselves. It's impossible, and they know that. So unfortunately, you're going to have to take everything with a grain of salt nowadays. I mean, I've seen so many people day after day after day with this case believe like the most random shit ever, and they just take it as like gospel. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, not to where like I can't sleep at night, but it amazes me how many people just believe everything that they're told. And that's why these like operations are so successful, because nobody thinks for themselves anymore. Nobody asks questions anymore. Or if they do, it's one question and it's like, oh, okay. No, ask questions. If something doesn't make sense, if somebody's going to come out on a channel and say that they know Chris Watts, or their boyfriend knows Chris Watts, or they write to him, like, again, you're going to have to take it with a grain of salt, because it's still all hearsay. And ask questions. And if they don't want to answer the questions, then they're probably full of shit, in my opinion. And if you get blocked for asking a perfectly relevant question to somebody who's claiming their information is factual, then that should be your answer for you right there. Wouldn't have to ask any more questions after that. Like, I cannot stress it enough to just not believe everything you hear and see. I don't expect you to believe me either. So don't think that. I'm not expecting you to just like, oh, don't believe everybody else, but believe what I'm saying. No, don't believe me, please. Um, Ask me questions and I'll do my best to answer them for you on this platform. Yeah, Arhuff, I know the Chris Watts case is closed. Thank you. Appreciate it. And if it's closed, then why are you still in the Chris Watts chat room? I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm really not like I'm in a mood right now, which I'm very rarely in, and I'm kind of on a roll here. So try not to distract me from that, please. Thank you. Like you can, for instance, you can zoom in on a picture all you want. And the more you zoom in, the more pixelated it's going to get, and the more you stare at it, the more shit you're going to see. But that doesn't mean it's really there. Or just because someone is trying to convince you that there's people there or something, or there's something in in that photo that's extremely pixelated and zoomed in and blurry, um, it doesn't mean it's there. And it like a lot of people will start to see things that they want to be there, even if they're not there. That's just how the brain works. The brain is a fascinating thing. It's complex, but just trying to think of some other examples because there's a ton of them. And I don't know if all of you guys are aware, I have said this many times before, if you guys do watch me, the government, the mainstream media, and law enforcement are legally allowed to lie to the public. Okay? So they can, the news, the mainstream media can come out with whatever story they want to tomorrow, no matter how ridiculous or how big of a lie, they can legally do it and not have any repercussions for it or not have to answer for it. They are allowed to push propaganda on us, and they've done it for years, and they do it all the time. They're doing it every single day, and people are believing it. Stop believing it, please. Ask questions. Anytime a news report comes out, take it with a grain of salt and prove that it's true otherwise. Believe that everything is fake until proven otherwise, okay? And unfortunately, it sucks that it has to be that way in life right now, but that's just the way it is because there's shitty people out there and they all want something to gain and or to push some sort of agenda. But a lot of those shitty people are the ones that have the power to push this propaganda on millions of people like us, because they can display it on a television, every single day. And again, I know that we can't vet a lot of this information, but just at least try to vet it. At least, again, go on the internet and just search what they're saying. Look, see what other people are saying on social media, other channels that are aware of what I'm saying as well. And I know that a lot of people don't want to go there. They just want to go to work every day, feed their families, and they don't want to go there. They don't want to think that our government might actually be corrupt and not actually be there to help us. I'm not saying all government, I'm not saying all police officers. There's a lot of, um, honest, you know, caring, like, and, police officers that are actually started doing what they are doing because they actually do care about people. But whether you want to believe it or not, there's a lot of corruption in law enforcement. And to sit there and pretend like that's not true is crazy. But again, a lot of people just want to live their lives, and that's understandable. But I don't like being lied to, period. So, um, and the fact that they think that they are just better than everybody else, they're all just humans too. They're not some sort of like super power person. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but um, it's annoying to say the least. Just to think that they can, just lie to all of us and then just and gain financially and just it just drives me crazy. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Actually, no, I'm not the only one. But and sorry, I was gonna try and not ignore the chat today, but of course I get on my rants and then Jenny May says, I'm a photographer and I can literally create anything in Photoshop and all editing branches by Adobe and other software. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and even if you're not like an expert in video or photo editing, like it could be the worst job ever and people will still believe it. Like but one of like the best examples I can think of in this case is Nate's video footage. And I know that I'm going to sound like a broken record for those of you who do follow me because I've said this many times, but it's a great example because the way that they set that everything up with Nate's camera, the positioning of it, the bush that everybody hates, um, or tree. I don't know if it's a bush or a tree. I don't know what it is, but um, everybody hates it. Like, think about it, you guys. We have a guy who's we're told to believe, or we're led to believe, has this 135, 140 IQ, right? And I know people will say, well, a lot of people with high IQs, they don't have, they're book smart, they don't have street smarts. Um, to me, I don't agree with that because you don't need to have street smarts to know that you don't leave a rake handle and a rake sticking out, of the ground and a sheet and two black garbage bags at the crime scene. You don't need street smarts. That's just common sense. A lot of, high IQ people, they don't have um, communicating skills, like as far as, how to communicate with, having to do with like love or something, or they don't know how to socialize in like a big gathering because they don't, because that comes to them, that's when they're more book smart than they are being able to, um, socialize with groups of people at a party or something. Like, but to say that Chris has 140 IQ and he just has book smart and he can remember things and he has a photographic memory, but doesn't have street smarts and isn't intelligent enough to not drag his family's bodies out in front of his house right before everyone starts to like wake up to go to work, for everybody to see. Like, that's not, you don't have to have street smart. That's just common sense. It's logic. But nobody like asks those Okay, hello. Sorry, my phone died. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Mark. Okay, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to my phone and it died. Okay. Um, so back to the real quick, because I want to go over to D Live for a little bit and talk to you guys. So with the with Nate's footage, when I first saw it, I immediately got the sense that it looked staged because everything was so perfect. The camera position was perfect. That tree slash bush was right there, hiding the whole front of the car. Um, and the fact that this guy would carry his, knowing that Nate's camera was right there, would carry out his the bodies of his family, right with the camera pointed up. It's not realistic. It's not. Um, Anyone with logic would know not to do that. So the fact that they're telling us to, um, or trying to, make us believe that he has a 135, 140 IQ and this photographic memory is just, it's beyond absurd to me. Um, so immediately when I felt like it, that was one of the first like big red flags in this case, was the fact that the whole thing just looked completely staged to me. It was too perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's too, everything's too convenient in this case. Like the whole storyline is just like, uh, um, husband meets wife, has kids, starts to have husband and wife start to have marital issues. Wife who's pregnant just happens to leave her husband for 6 weeks, and then who just happens to meet his mistress at his work, who just happens to started working there just like right before um, his wife leaves to go see her family for 6 weeks. And then so now it gives this mistress and husband or guy an opportunity to have their affair while she's gone for 6 weeks, and then she comes back, and then everybody dies. Like, it's just, it's too convenient, you guys. Okay. um, and then the friend just happens to come check on her friend, even though she only just dropped her off after a couple hours before that. Like, but if you want to if you want to if you want the public to believe and to like, they could release the story, right? They, like any other um, homicide case, right? But if you want people to be psychologically affected um, more than people usually would if it was just a regular news story, and all this um, evidence wasn't released, and all this body cam footage and all this uh, shenan social media and stuff, like, if you really wanted to get inside people's heads and you wanted to push an agenda, how would you do that? You'd do it by releasing the discovery, by showing this woman's social media and having her post her whole life on it, pretty much. Um, show the pointless body cam footage of Dieter being picked up, Ronnie being, uh, you know, escorted to a hotel because you couldn't stay at the house, and then conveniently they show Chris being booked into Well County Jail. Like, that doesn't ever happen, you guys. Like, when does that ever happen? When do they show released footage of a convicted murderer, someone who just confessed to killing their family, being fingerprinted and booked into county jail? It doesn't happen in real life. Like, none of this stuff happens in real life. Okay, like, but if you want to push an agenda and you want to get people emotionally invested in a case, and
distracted and send them down rabbit holes and um, whatever. Like, that's how you're going to do it. Sure, they can tell people in the public that this you know man named Chris Watts murdered his entire family. People are going to be saddened about it, right? They're going to be sad, but then they're going to move on eventually. But when you release Facebook, all this Facebook videos of this family, and you make it extremely tragic and extremely emotional, and then everybody watches the videos over and over and over again, and then they feel like they know the family, and um, and then other women that have children can relate to um, Shanann's trials and tribulations to their own, um, and it's going to affect women more that have kids. Um, that's just how it works. And by doing this, that's where the whole psychological part of it comes in. Compared to if they just simply released it and said it on the news one time and that was it. So give the people what they want to see. Make them feel like they're a part of this murder case. Make them feel like they're a part of this family that just lost their lives tragically. That's why nothing in this case makes sense, you guys. That's why this is the only case that people can't wrap their heads around, because it's all the psychological part of it. And it's worked on millions of people. And then with even more people now with the Netflix coming out, like they're gonna keep they're gonna keep pushing and pushing this case as long as people keep believing the lies. Okay. But my point about Nate's footage, even though it does look like Chris is loading something into his truck or loading the bodies of his family into his truck, doesn't mean he really is doing that. Okay. But when we're told by law enforcement and the mainstream media that that's what this man is doing, why would we, you know, immediately question it otherwise? Like right off the bat, we wouldn't, because we don't expect that. We don't expect them to, um, it to be staged or to not be real. But that's why these operations work, because people don't think logically sometimes. They don't think, okay, wait a minute, like this seems like really too convenient. Like why is the camera perfect? Why is it so, like why is everything just so perfect? Like um and why would he do that in front, just that kind of thing. People just automatically go, "Oh my god, he loaded the bodies of his family into his truck and we saw it on video, so it must make it real." No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it real at all. Not in the slightest bit, because we don't see anything on on that film, on that footage, and I don't care if somebody tells me that they can, because they're full of shit. Because you can't see anything, you can't see a damn thing. It's so pixelated. I have a security camera like that, that looks like shadows when there's not really shadows there. It looks like someone's there that's not really there. That's just how those night cameras are, unless you have like a super duper nice one. But they know that if they tell the public and they put this video out that this man is just murdered his family and he's loading the bodies of his family into his truck, they know, the people orchestrating these, they know that people are going to just automatically believe it, because they're told in their mind, they're told that's what's happening by mainstream media and law enforcement. So it's like, oh well, that they told us that's what's happening and that's what we're seeing, so it must be real. It must be true. But again, if you think about it, you can't see anything on that. We don't see. He could be, uh, he could be playing hockey with a hockey stick in the flipping driveway for all we know. We don't, because you can't see anything. Yeah, does it look like, is he walking backwards and like hunched over a little bit? And does it look like he's dragging something? Absolutely. Does it mean he's really dragging something? No. Like I could do like a reenactment of it on the other side of my car and pretend like I'm dragging something and have it all pixelated and blurry like they released it because it's crappy quality on purpose. So it doesn't mean he really is, even though, and I get it. Well, that's what we are being told, but don't believe everything you're told. And on that note, I'm going to end it right now. Sorry about the technical difficulties and everything like that. I should just have a disclaimer before that and just have one before every live stream. But um, I do plan on doing a live stream on D Live in a little bit because I do want to go into the videos that I made and I do want to uh, discuss other things. And if anybody has any questions, I want to try and answer those as well that I wouldn't be able to answer on here. So thank you guys and thank you moderators. I will talk to you guys later and hopefully see you on D Live. Okay, bye.